Mari Extension Pack 6 adds a long list of improvements to the overall user experience in the Nodegraph. In this video, I will give a quick overview of some, without going into too much detail on any of them. If a specific feature has a dedicated tutorial, you can find the link to it in the description. First, let's take a look at the Nodegraph right mouse click context menu. Extension Pack 6 creates new submenus and restructured all the menus to make more logical sense. So you might find that some of its features you previously used are now under a slightly different submenu. Where possible, Extension Pack 6 also adds features and associated hotkeys that are similar to what side effects Houdini has to offer. One example is right here at the top, the backdrop option. Just as in Houdini, by default the backdrop hotkey is now on Shift and O, so you won't have to remember any different shortcut when switching applications. If we take a look into the new Navigate submenu, we see a whole bunch of added options to step through Nodegraph hierarchies. To enter a material or node group, again just as in Houdini, press the I hotkey. To step one level up inside the Nodegraph, press the U hotkey. To jump straight to your root graph level, press the Home key. And to cycle between open Nodegraph tabs, just as in your browser, press Ctrl and Tab. This version of Extension Pack also exposes a variety of settings for the Nodegraph in the Mari preferences. If we go into the Preferences, into the Nodegraph tab, we see a new group called Nodegraph Stylesheet. As the title here says, any change requires actually a Mari restart to take effect, which is an unfortunate limitation for now. We have some modifiers here to change how thick node connection lines should be. We call them edges here in those settings. The preferred edge is the connection going into nodes where one of the ports has a bold font. The shared edge is mostly relevant for display of shared layer connections when working in a layer stack workflow. Below that, we have a setting to change the node highlight color to be a bit more visually clear, as well as a setting to use the new Extension Pack style for backdrops, which is visually a bit nicer. Both will be by default on the Extension Pack version style now, but you can revert them back to the old Mari style via those dropdowns. Both of these settings are for now also hard-coded choices and do not allow you to manually set a color for yourself. At least for now there's a Mari bug preventing me from exposing that, but I'm hoping this will change in the near future and allow completely custom colors. The most impactful change controlled by these preferences though has nothing to do with colors, but with the way you are able to insert nodes onto an existing connection by dragging a node onto a connection. In standard Mari, this is a very tedious process as the hitbox that allows you to insert the node is absolutely tiny. Extension Pack changes this now, and these new preferences control how big the hitbox should be. By default, the hitbox is now set to be 10 times bigger than the default Mari version, making inserting nodes into existing connections really easy. That being said, if you have dense node networks, you might find that you rather not have nodes inserted into chains that easily. To control this, a new setting has been added to the Nodegraph right mouse click menu under the Connection submenu. Here you will find this new checkbox Allow Auto Insert, which is mapped to the hotkey F8 by default. So if you find yourself wanting to quickly toggle the auto insert feature on and off, simply press F8 and the node insert feature will be disabled. And if you want to turn it on again, simply press F8 again. Moving on, let's look at some tools that Extension Pack 6 adds that I believe have their place to be mentioned inside a user experience video. A small addition is the ability to repeat the last node creation command, which you can find here in the Miscellaneous submenu, as well as in the Node Favorites hotbox on the shortcut C. This action will simply create another instance of the last node type you created, in case you need multiple times the same node. A super handy addition is the ability to select a node without actually clicking on it. If you just hover your cursor near a node and press hotkey E, Extension Pack will select the closest node to your cursor and view its node properties. If you press Ctrl and E, the closest node will be selected, but without opening its node properties. And finally, pressing Shift and E will select the closest node and view it in the viewport. This new selection method also works great with another new addition, which is a new quick connect feature. If you press the hotkey W, Extension Pack will connect the last selected node to the currently selected node. Pressing W repeatedly will cycle through all unmapped connections of the current node. Pressing Shift and W will keep cycling but override any existing connections. If you've already forgotten the hotkeys I mentioned, you can see those options and their shortcuts inside the new connection submenu here. In this menu, there are also some other useful additions, such as the ability to quickly disconnect input or output connections. There are many more Nodegraph features in Mari Extension Pack 6 that exceed the scope of this small workflow improvements video. So those features are covered in separate tutorials, for example, the ones here. So be sure to check those out. And as always, if you enjoy these tutorials, like and subscribe to get informed about new content about Mari and Mari Extension Pack.